Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up. WWE superstar Gunther appears to have confirmed a new direction for himself going forward after losing to Jey Uso at WrestleMania 41. The ring general did not confront the Yeet Master last night on Raw despite being on the show. The newly crowned World Heavyweight Champion entered the squared circle to address the Las Vegas crowd following his WrestleMania win. He was interrupted by a returning Sami Zayn. The segment ended with Jey Uso showing up and the three former members of the Bloodline embracing in the middle of the ring. Interestingly, Gunther made his way to the ringside area moments later and attacked the Raw commentators. The Imperium leader recently posted a video on his Instagram account highlighting his recent actions. But more importantly, the caption to the social media post seems to confirm that the 37-year-old's feud with Jey Uso is over. Last night on Raw, Pat McAfee stepped in to save fellow Raw commentator Michael Cole from Gunther. However, it did not end well for the 37-year-old as the ring general choked him out with a sleeper hold. The former NFL punter spoke about the vicious attack on the Pat McAfee show earlier today. McAfee noted that he was only trying to protect Michael Cole. Pat pointed out that although he didn't know what would happen next, he was not going to back down, as he did not care how intimidating the ring general could be. Pat McAfee's last singles bout was against The Miz 2 years ago. He defeated the A-lister at WrestleMania 39. It remains to be seen if he will step back into the squared circle to face Gunther. Ankit Verma is a WWE news writer with over 4 years of experience in the writing field. He graduated with a master's degree in physical sciences, but his love and passion for writing and pro wrestling led him to create content about it. He writes his articles putting himself in the reader's shoes, making sure it's as simply written, informative, and straight to the point as possible while being devoid of opinion. Ankit strives to present accurate information by ensuring the source is credible and cross-checking all facts and figures. Ankit would have liked to have managed Kane during the Attitude Era, helping to take the big red monster to greater heights than his brother's rival, The Undertaker. His favorite pro wrestler of all time is AJ Styles. The crowd was still buzzing from WrestleMania 41's shocking finale, the night Jey Uso pinned Gunther, the man once thought unbeatable. It was a seismic moment. The once unstoppable ring general, dethroned not by a fluke or interference, but in a clean, jaw-dropping finish that left fans cheering and Gunther staring at the rafters, chest heaving, eyes hollow. In the aftermath, people wondered what would come next. Would Gunther disappear for a while? Would he seek revenge? Would he respect Jey as the better man? The answer came on the first Raw after WrestleMania, and it wasn't what anyone expected. The arena lights dimmed. A lone spotlight lit the entrance ramp. The opening strings of Symphony No. 9 blared through the speakers. The crowd erupted. But this wasn't the same Gunther they remembered. There was no smug arrogance, no poised confidence, no Ludwig Kaiser or Giovanni Vinci. Just Gunther, draped in a long black coat, eyes sharp, lips thin. He marched to the ring, grabbed a mic, and waited for silence. At WrestleMania, a moment occurred that many of you celebrated. He began, his Austrian accent cold and deliberate. Jey Uso did what no man has done in over 600 days. He pinned me. The crowd popped. Gunther didn't flinch. And for that, he has my respect. But let's be clear. This respect does not mean forgiveness. A ripple went through the audience. Because Jey Uso did not just defeat Gunther. He embarrassed the Imperium legacy. He danced. He smiled. He turned our match, my match, into a spectacle of emotion and drama. Gunther's eyes narrowed, his voice deepening. Jey, I carried you through that match like I carried this company's standard of honor. You were emotional, reckless, yet you won. But understand this. Victory is not virtue. You did not win with strength. You won with chaos, and I have no place, no patience for chaos. Fans knew the story. For months before WrestleMania 41, Gunther and Jey had formed an unlikely alliance, a mutual respect forged in battle. After the fall of the bloodline, Jey sought redemption. Gunther, always pragmatic, saw potential in Jey's fire. Together, they dismantled Judgment Day, survived war games, and became a force of order in a fractured locker room. But that was before WrestleMania. Before the betrayal that wasn't really a betrayal, just ambition, pride, and the will to win. You came to me seeking discipline, Jey. Structure. You said you wanted to be more than Yeet. You wanted to be a champion like me. And I gave you the roadmap. I gave you mentorship. I treated you like a warrior. He paused. But in the end, you were just an USO. That stung. Later in the night, Jey Uso stormed down the ramp, hoodie over his head, WrestleMania sweat still metaphorically on his brow. He grabbed a mic, his usual swagger tempered by intensity. Yo, Gunther, you say I disrespected you? Nah, bruh, I beat you. You brought the fight, but I finished it. The crowd erupted into yeet. Eat! Yeet! You talk about structure and discipline? Look around. Use. I lived in structure. It was called the bloodline, and it damn near broke me. You just another man who think he's smarter than everybody else. But at Mania, I showed the world. Heartbeat system every time. Jey leaned into the camera. And if you got a problem with that, run it back. Anytime. Any place. But the rematch never came. At least, not right away. In the weeks that followed, Gunther refused to address Jey. He no-showed interviews. Left tag partners hanging. Even Imperium's Ludwig Kaiser began speaking cryptically about a shift in philosophy. Backstage rumors flew. Was Gunther injured? Was he rattled? Then came a WWE digital exclusive, the kind most fans would miss. Gunther, suited, standing alone in a cold, gray training room. No music. No flash. For those asking if I want a rematch with Jey Uso, the answer is no. A pause. Because when you lose to chaos, you do not challenge it again. You eliminate it from your path. You step over it. You leave it to destroy itself. He walked off camera. Just like that. He was done. Gunther's apparent refusal to face Jey again became WWE's hottest talking point. Fans debated whether it was pride, fear, or calculation. Jey called him a coward. Gunther remained silent. Meanwhile, Jey rose higher, earning cheers from kids, veterans, and indie fans alike. He wasn't just a fluke champion. He became the locker room's heartbeat. Main event Jey had finally come full circle. But something was off. The man who had haunted Jey for months, who had pushed him to be better, had vanished. And that gnawed at him. Then, on an episode of SmackDown in June, Gunther returned, but not as a challenger. Instead, he approached Seth Rollins backstage. The World Heavyweight Championship is not held by chaos. It is held by a man with purpose. I want that. Seth smirked. You sure you're not running from something? Gunther's stare was steel. I'm running towards something greater. In a moment of rare vulnerability during an interview on The Bump, Kathy Kelly asked Gunther one final question. Do you think Jey Uso was your greatest rival? Gunther didn't blink. No. He was my greatest lesson. And just like that, the story wasn't about revenge. It was about evolution, conclusion, the end of a war, the birth of a new era. Gunther versus Jey Uso wasn't a rivalry built on betrayal. It was a collision of ideologies. Order versus emotion. Structure versus soul. WrestleMania 41 wasn't the climax of a feud. It was a fork in the road. Jey Uso walked one path, fueled by the crowd, dancing in defiance, finally living free of chains. Gunther chose another, cold, relentless, and aimed at legacy. And somewhere, in that quiet tension between respect and rejection, a new chapter of WWE history was written. Because sometimes, when a warrior says he's done, he's just getting started. Let me know if you want this adapted into a promo script, graphic layout, or even a highlight package concept.